welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and I am the founder and creator of My Sanctuary number 8. Welcome back. Today is a busy day. I've just been photographing my latest piece for my shop, which is just here. I'll insert a few little videos of it. It's beautiful. The most stunning little occasional table. It's called Lady Grey. If you're interested, then head over to my website, which is in the description down below, and you can purchase this piece and any other pieces that are in my shop. So yes, I'm busy photographing. We've got a little bit of a setup going on. Let me show you. This is what photograph day often looks like. We've got temporary flooring, a little bit of a backdrop going on. This is the table. I'm obsessed. The most stunning green, just the most beautiful detailing under there. We've got some gilded gold leaf underneath. Yeah, put my new little bouquet making skills to the test. And actually, I'm really pleased. They look so pretty. I love this like whimsical, kind of not so polished floral look. This china actually used to be my mum's. This set was her pride and joy. CB for her initials. She loved it, and I thought how pretty to include in the photographs, a little homage to her. So yes, we've got that. I'm going to be starting this soon. That's going to be one of my next projects. So I wanted to try and get the beginnings of a reel done for my Instagram. Ironing board going on for the backdrop. It's all going on. Anyway, so that's that. In the rest of today's video, what I wanted to share with you, I get asked a lot about the mural wall that I painted in Sienna's bedroom. If you haven't seen her nursery, then please go back to my first video where we talked about how we created it in a non-toxic, sustainable way. And I get asked a lot about her mural wall and how I did it. So in today's video, I want to share with you the simple, easy ways of just how I did it. The tools I use, the techniques, and maybe you might try and create it yourself. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is Sienna's mural wall. It's on the largest wall of her bedroom. I created it using 3 different colours. Here comes oh no, this is Dino. If it's not Sienna, it's one of the cats. Where was I? So I've created it using 3 different colours. All of these colours are Grafenstone colours from Grafenstone Paint Company. If you go back to my previous video about where I talked about Sienna's nursery, I'll link it below. I go into further detail about Grafenstone and why we used them. I've used only 3 different techniques really. As you can see, there's like the fir kind of style trees. You've got the like leaf detailing on the bottom, and let's not forget the single solitary mushroom that Ben painted. That was his contribution to the wall. The birds, and then you've got the so you've got the fir trees, the leaves, birds, and then you've got the bigger trees with kind of more of the puffy cloud-like finish at the top. So I thought I would go into a little bit more detail about how I did it, how I created each of the different trees and stuff, and talk you through it. First up, you're going to need your tools. There's not a lot involved. You'll need a couple of size paintbrushes, a slightly thicker one and then a slightly thinner one. So your paintbrushes, I used some sponges, pencil, and I think that's it. Yes, that is it. And then you'll also need your paints. So I chose 3 different shades. Obviously the wall has already been painted in the colour that it was going to be, the rest of the room's painted in. We have gone with white linen from Grafenstone. And then I went for the lighter shade, which you can see behind me there and there. That's Ashen. And then the mid colour Vintage, and then the darker colour of a couple of fir trees, the birds and the leaves that I mentioned earlier, and the mushroom are darker colour, which is our Dons. Ardennes. I had this problem in the last video. I don't know how to pronounce it. I really must find out. So yeah, I would suggest going with a lighter, a mid and a darker colour, just to give you that variety, that level of interest, and that also that level of depth. So techniques, let's get into it. So I literally took the entire wall tree by tree, drawing on, painting on, then moving on to a different section to do the same again, and slowly filling it in as I went along. But you will need to start by literally penciling out your design. And what I'm going to do as we go along is just insert some time lapses of how I did it as I was creating the wall for you to see how it was done. Where I began penciling out was this tree there. I chose to start off centre. I don't like anything that's too symmetrical. I like things that are a bit more organic in their layout, a bit more unpredictable. So I began just off centre, and then the thought process being by starting just off centre I can then build out from there. So yeah, penciled this. Now with these fir trees, basically what I did was, as you can see in the video, was draw up the trunk, literally very roughly with a pencil, draw up the trunk, and then just a single pencil line for each of what will become the branches. And you'll see in the video, that's literally all it is. Nothing too symmetrical, nothing too organised, some shorter bits, some longer bits. Start longer on the bottom, and then as you would with like a Christmas tree, fir tree, it narrows to the top. Painting the fir trees in, it's really simple. You will need your 2-size paintbrushes, so a larger one and a smaller one. What I've found is that you want some paintbrushes that have really lovely soft bristles, so when you're applying the paint it reduces any kind of like brush strokes that you would see within the paint, which personally for me, I don't love brush strokes as being visible. So yeah, so go for a really lovely soft bristle brush if you can. I've linked some below that I'm personally really enjoying at the moment, so you can check those out if you are interested. So you'll need your paint brushes, you'll need your sponges, and that is it for the fir trees. In fact, that is it for all of them. Anyway, so first up, you're literally going to, with your tree trunk, you're going to basically, using your larger paintbrush, colour it in. It's as simple as that. What you can do as a top tip, which I sometimes do, is, like I say, where we're trying to avoid brush strokes, if you do notice that you have got some, just go in with your larger sponge and just kind of gently dab away the visible brush strokes that you can see, and it just kind of like softens it, blurs it out. That's kind of a little top tip that I often use, especially if I've got to touch up like a wall, like a little patch on the wall or anything like that. Just go in, rather than having to get a whole roller out that you're then going to have to clean. Literally just a little sponge, paint it on, dab it in, done. So once you've done the trunk, we are going to then build out those branches. So you are going to go in with your sponge and you're going to use the like corner of it, the 90-degree corner of the softer side. If you've got like a scourer side, you want the softer edge of the sponge, and you're going to go in with that 90-degree angle, and you're literally going to dab the paint. As you can see in this video that I'm inserting here, you're going to dab it on. So where you've drawn out your loose pencil line, that's your base, and then you're going to literally build out in little motions as you go along. Like I say, you're not looking to do anything too organised, so kind of don't give it too much thought, just go with it. And that's literally all it is for the branches. You're going to start wider at the bottom and narrow at the top. As you go along, if you think, oh, this is a bit of a gap here, add a little shorter one in, or however you think. But always remember, take a step back, have a look, see how it's coming along, and carry on. With these other trees, the fluffier ones, and with that single one that doesn't really have any, it's just branches, again, you literally just the trunk, and then what I did was just literally draw off random branches here and there, all the while taking a step back, looking at the composition, how is it working, varying the heights of each of the trees. As you can see with, for example, like this one, it goes all the way up to the ceiling. I did at one point debate, let me show you, there, it goes all the way up to the ceiling. I did debate taking it onto the ceiling, but then chose against it. I didn't want it to look too messy. So yeah, varying the heights, just kind of really making sure that the design is evenly spread across the wall, but like I say, nothing too organised. Just like a real woodland, you know, nothing would be in its set place. Everything is kind of just wild. So with the cloud-like fluffy one, I went tall with them. It gives the illusion of height, more space. They're really effective. So these ones, again, same with the fir trees. With the trunk, you're literally going to go in and you're going to colour them in. And because these ones also have the added branches, you're going to do exactly the same as the trunk. Just literally colour them in. You might need to use your smaller brush here for the slightly thinner branches. But that is all you're going to do for the trunk and the branches. Again, like I said, if you want to go in with the sponge and just dab away those brush strokes, that's fine, but you might find that you don't have any brush strokes at all, so whatever is working for you. So then we get to the puffy kind of leaf tree part, like cloud part of the tree. Now this you're going to need your bigger sponge for, because this you're literally just going to go in. And you're going to create on the end of each branch that you've created, you're going to basically go in with your paint and your sponge, and you're just going to make a big puffy ball of paint. That's all you're going to do. You might want to go bigger on some, smaller. They're going to overlap each other. That's fine, that's good, because you want to build out the leaf kind of area of the tree, and just go with it. Kind of puff it out. You don't want too much paint on your sponge, because you want to create kind of like a softer edge on the edge of each cloud. You don't want it too kind of like definite line, so it just gently blurs. So go easy on the paint on your sponge, just very gentle. You can always build it up, so don't go in too heavy to begin with. Just gently. And then, as I say, if you want to build up even the colour intensity as you go along, then you can. But obviously you can't take it back without painting over and starting again. So just layer it up very, very gently as you go along, and see how you like it as you get on. And if you know, see where you think needs more. So yeah, that is it for the like cloud trees, let's call them. So as I say, I went in with the lighter colour first of the trees, then I went in with the medium colour, and then finished off with the darker colours. What I did, I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 of the lighter colours across the wall, kind of like to give you that structure that you can then build around. Once you've added those in, you can then see where your gaps are, so you can then fill into, so then you can add in your medium colour, and then following on from there, your darker. Once you've taken the time to finish all of your trees, you're happy with the composition, you're happy that there's kind of like an even coverage of the trees, there's lots of different interesting levels, and you're happy with it, then we can go in with our final details. So what I used was the birds, as you can see. We've got 5 different birds. I'll show you the last one. So those 4, and then that one. Get out of the way. There you go. There's 5 birds. I'm also a bit of a stickler for even numbers. I like odd numbers, so it just sits better with me for the composition of the wall. We've got the birds, and then the leaves on the bottom, which are, as you can see there. So those we literally just, you're filling in the gaps. Where is there an empty space that needs something? The birds, I found some silhouetted birds actually online. I will try and find them and put them in a link below if you want to use the same ones. It was literally just some silhouetted birds that I just printed them out actually, and I just copied them. So I'll put them in a link below if I can find them, and you can use those as well. Again, I wanted them to look very in motion, so they're all in a different position. They're all kind of, again, like I say, nothing organised, nothing too samey. It's all a little bit unpredictable. So we've got the birds filling in the gaps at the top, and then the leaves at the bottom. Literally just drew them in, so just like a line. Your leaves, you're literally just using your paintbrush, thin paintbrush, to create a stem. You're going for, again, same with the trees, you want different heights. again, filling in the gaps. Where does it need kind of something, just to again give you that nice even spread across the bottom of the wall. So the whole entire wall is just filled with something of interest. There's no kind of like gaps where you think, oh, that's missing something. All the while taking a step back and seeing, okay, yes, that works, that needs that there. So that is basically it. I hope I've covered everything. I think I have. If you've got any questions, obviously, as always, please put them in the comments section below, and I will obviously be very happy to answer anything, any queries. If there's anything that you think I should go into further, then obviously please also let me know that too. When I was looking for what I wanted, which was like a woodland, because her nursery is a woodland theme, I'd seen some beautiful woodland forest wallpapers, and a lot of ones that I found you can buy kind of like made to measure mural walls, which are essentially wallpaper, but they're cut to your size wall. And they look amazing and they're brilliant, but because of everything that we did with Sienna's room, I didn't want to introduce any other need for any other products that would then involve me having to find something that was non-toxic and chemical free, i.e. like a wallpaper paste. When we're looking at the idea of like waste, I had these paints already because we used Grafenstone for the rest of her nursery. So I didn't want to not use stuff that I already had. So that's also partly why we painted it on. And also a lot of the murals that I found, for me personally, they were a little too busy. This is a very small little room, and by painting it on myself, it meant that I could create something of interest but not too busy. So yeah, that's kind of also why we painted it on. So yeah, I hope you like it. I hope this has been useful. If you want to embark on this yourself, then obviously please let me know. I would love to see any kind of like pictures or videos of anything that you take on yourself that's, you know, with this in mind. So yeah, I will link the video below of her nursery where I kind of talked through why we made it all completely non-toxic and completely sustainable. I'll link that below, so if you've not seen it before, you can have a look at that and have kind of a bit more of a look into what we did with this project. So yeah, I hope it's been really helpful. So please like and please subscribe if you are enjoying the things that I'm sharing. We've got a lot coming up. I have so many ideas going on for our house. Next up is our bathroom. We are undertaking a little bit of a renovation in there. I'll be testing out lime washing, which I've never done before. So keep a lookout for that if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.